Hello, my name is Jaya. I don't know what kind of bird that is, but it sounds crazy. I am a professional dancer. I'm a dance educator. I'm also the founder of Jaya, a dancewear brand focused on inclusion and equity within the dancewear space. And welcome to another mini mic'd up series. You gotta do it every time I talk? Haven't seen any of my mini mic'd up series, I suggest you go check them out before you watch this video because it'll give you a little bit more context on who I am and my story and why this all makes sense. So let's get into it today. This topic is a topic that, I wish my husband would be here for to give you more of an insight from his perspective, but I can only give you mine. He's working, providing, doing the things that he does. But I thought that this is a topic that I kind of get asked a lot when it comes to being a dancer, but also being married. So let's get into it. Growing up as a dancer, I was, I don't want to say groomed because I don't think that's a good word, but I was taught to be in love with my craft. My craft is my one and true love. I need to focus on it. I need to put my all into it so that it can give me what I need back. Okay? And I feel like a lot of artists, not just dancers, do this. We marry our craft or we fall in love with our artistry so much that when it comes to romantic or even friendships, we have a hard time committing in the same way we would commit to our art form. I grew up always thinking that it would be hard to find someone, another plane, hold on. Like I said, I was taught back in the day that you marry your craft, and then with that being the expectation, I definitely thought that I would have a hard time meeting someone who understood me, and dance is a part of me. So that wasn't true though, obviously. Like actors are way more extreme, but I feel like even as dancers, like I have to partner with males and do love scenes or portray love scenes with males. And for some people, some men, that can be a lot. That could be uncomfortable, and I understand that. But let me tell you, my husband is unfazed. He's like, I know what I got. That's my wife. I have no worries. And of course, I also make him feel very secure when I do these things. I let him know every single time I have a love scene or have some sort of like scene that, something I just feel like he should know about. He's always like, I don't care. And I'm like, this is great. So yeah, finding a partner that understands your craft and understand some of the things that you may have to do and not be insecure about it is a necessity. Another thing that I thought was funny was I'm a very flexible person, and there's some things that I do like in the middle of the night or just randomly throughout the day that are very weird. Like I'll just put my leg to my face and or just sit in a straddle, and my husband would just come in and just look at me and be like, okay, that's just her being her, and like just go about his way. So understanding your quirks too, I think, is something important in a partner, because it could be very weird, like just seeing me in a split on the couch and you're just like, he's just be like Walt's just like, what are you, whatever, this is her. And I think as long as you are 100% you will attract someone who will accept 100% you. But as soon as you start changing yourself in a relationship for someone else, you're making them fall in love with a falsified version of you. And that goes for anybody in any relationship. Be yourself, because then you will really know if that person loves you. Because at the end of the day, when you guys are together for however long period of time, your true self is going to come out. You can't keep your true self in forever. So you might as well just be yourself up front so that they know what they're getting themselves into, instead of trying to pretend like you're not weird, because I am weird, but pretending like you're not weird and then starting to be weird, and they're like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Start off weird. Also, I think Walt and I, since we were friends before we got into a relationship, this helped our marriage and relationship a lot. This is just becoming a relationship conversation, not even about dance. Am I okay with that? I don't think I am. We can have that conversation another time, just about being married in general. But let's stick to the topic of being married as a dancer and how you can do both. Because, like I said, I feel like growing up, I was told either dance or the other. Like, you travel with dance, you be in a company, and then you get married in your later years, you know. But being married in your 20s as a dancer was like suicide. A lot of my professors frowned upon it. A lot of like mentors just like, they're gonna distract you, like, and the crazy thing is like, I think that there is validity to that, but in the same breath, like, I think Walter helped me pursue dance even more and like wholeheartedly, and let me really dive into what my craft is, because he supports me in so many different ways. And that is leads me to my next topic: support. No matter who your partner is, you need support from them. Physical, mental, emotional support. You need it. And my relationship before Walters, I didn't have support. When I was going through that, I thought that I didn't need support. Like, I knew that I loved my craft. I was going to do what I wanted to. I was also in college, so I was actively training in my craft. I had support from my professors, from my parents, from my family, from my friends. And I felt like I didn't need that from that person when I was going through it. But when me and him broke up and Walt and I got together at the end of my senior year, Walt showed up and showed out in a way that I was like, I've been missing out. I've been missing out this whole time, and I didn't know that it was something that I needed. My mom, that was like one of the things that my mom really disliked about my ex, was that he never came and supported me. Like, never came to one of my shows, never came to one of my performances. My mom was really bothered by that. But like I said, when I was going through it, I was just like, oh, like, there was always a valid excuse in my head. And I was like, I have other people that are going to be at the show, other people that are going to support me. I don't need that from that person. And it's okay with me. But like I said, when I got with Walt, and he came to every show, and he came to rehearsals. Walt would sit in my rehearsal to watch. That's how much support he gave me. We have a gala in school. Sorry, another helicopter. We have something called a gala at George Mason, where, you know, you have to audition to get into the pieces, and you perform 3 nights in a row, from Friday to Sunday in a row. But you're performing the same piece all 3 nights. And I remember when Walt and I first got together, I invited him to the gala, and I was like, oh, what day do you want to come on? Friday, Saturday, Sunday? And he was like, I'll come to all 3. I was like, what? He was like, I can come to all 3. Like, there's no problem. But he, like, didn't understand dance at the time. And I was like, oh, well, it's the same show. It's just on different days. So you really don't have to come to all 3. Like, you could just come to one and it'll be okay. He was like, oh, okay. Well, whatever you think. Like, I'll come to whatever you want me to come to, whatever day you think. And I was just like, oh, my gosh. Like, that was insane. Walt came on Saturday. My parents also came on Saturday. My brother also came on Saturday. So they saw Walt. Like, that's Walt's awakening into dance. That's where Walt got it. That's where Walt and I were friends in college, and he knew I danced, but he didn't understand the type of dance that I did. He was like, oh my gosh, he was astonished. Why are there all these helicopters? Walt loved it, and he told me later on when we got together, he was like, yeah, when I saw you dance, I knew immediately that you were going to be my wife. And I was like, I love him so much. So Walt supported me physically. He showed up and he showed out, and he was there, and he continues to do that throughout our relationship. If I have a performance, Walt is going to be there. No ifs, ands, or buts. It can be in a big stage in an opera house. It could be a massive stage. It could be a gig that I do in someone's backyard. Walt's going to be there, and he's going to support, and he's going to show love. And oh my gosh, I am like blushing. Mentally and emotionally, Walt supports me in dance, because if you know anything about dance, especially the type of dance that I do, it can be mentally exhausting. It could be physically and mentally exhausting. Sometimes emotionally exhausting when you're performing pieces that you actually like are attached to and you could actually put real emotion into. It could be emotionally exhausting. And I remember one day I came back from a long rehearsal, I think Tech Week. And if you know anything about Tech Week is intense, okay? You have to start, stop. Lights, no lights. Costumes, no costumes. Do the piece 4 times in the light, and then right when you're about to end, bird, chill on me, cuz. Tech Week could be very, very hectic. And so I remember coming home. This one, Walt and I were just boyfriend and girlfriend. I remember coming back to his apartment and him already having food. He ordered food. He ordered like this pasta dish and this broccolini on the side. I'll never forget this. And he made like a smoothie. And I remember just coming in exhausted, just wanting a hug. And he gave me a hug. And I laid down, I sat down, and he brought out the food. And I was just like, what? And like as I'm eating, I was super sore. He was giving me a massage, like a foot massage or something. And I remember just like wanting to cry and just being like, why are you so good to me? And he's just like, I know you had a long day. I just want to like make sure that like you're good and stuff like that. And don't get it twisted. Like, I take care of my man. Okay. I take care of Walter. Don't think that this is just on his side. We take care of each other. But when he showed me that in the beginning of our relationship, I was like, he supports me in every way. And then also, like, now that we're married, monetarily, Walt supports us, our family. You know, he carries, okay? He carries. So I'm able to wake up and do this and perform and do various gigs and run my business, Jaya, and not have to worry about finances because he handles a lot of that. And one of my goals with Jaya is to make enough to retire him from his day job so that he can just submit to his full entrepreneurial life. Like, I feel like Walt deserves to be 100% an entrepreneur and not have to be half entrepreneur, half 9-to-5er. Like, I truly think that he deserves to dive in fully to his entrepreneurship life. And if I can help in any way, I will help my husband get out of the 9-to-5. Now, I think a lot of people hear like, oh, you want to retire your husband. It's like you're trying to be the man in the relationship. No, I'm trying to retire my husband from a 9-to-5. I'm not trying to retire my husband from working because he enjoys it or entrepreneurship. I'm trying to set my poor bird free from prison, from that 9-to-5 prison, and let him experience the life that I get to experience because of him. So anyway, that's a little tangent because I know some people don't understand that, so I want to make it clear. But anyway, yeah, I think that it's very much so possible to find a person that, as an artist, as a dancer, to find someone, to get married to that person in your young years and still have a fruitful and prosperous, is that not phosphorus, that's the element, prosperous, I don't know, to have a great career and love won't hinder it, you know. Now, that worked for my dance path and the dance path that I chose, which wasn't fully committing, like, you know, I wasn't doing a 9-to-5 in dance. I always did gig work and I always did part-time company life. Now, if you're trying to do full-time company life, I'm not too sure how that works. I didn't go through that, but I made my decision and I feel like I'm living the best of both worlds. I get to dance on my own terms, but I also get to experience love and marry the love of my life and have that as well. And then eventually have a family as well. So, yeah, that's my little 2 cents. I know this is all over the place, but I hope that makes sense and give a little bit of hope to the dancers out there who want but best of both worlds. Like, they don't just want to be by themselves until they're 40 years old. They want love and they want to be married. It's possible. It's definitely possible. Okay, so thank you for listening and thank you for tuning in to another mini mic'd up series. I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye.